March 8th, a day set aside every year to take a closer look at how far women around the world, and indeed Nigeria, have gone in terms of the enforcement of their rights, which are basically fundamental human rights. These rights include the right to live free from violence, slavery, discrimination, to be educated, to own property, to vote, reproductive rights, and earn a fair and equal wage, among others.
Although Nigeria has signed the International Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, we find that the country hasn't ratified. We also find out that even though quite a number of states have passed laws that protect women in relation to widowhood, female genital mutilation, forced marriages, we still see that the institutional frameworks that are supposed to arrest offenders or provide remedy to the victims are very weak.
Other areas government in Nigeria at all levels should look into include tackling the worrisome cases of domestic and sexual violence against women. While the implementation of the laws are expected to be strengthened, the society needs to play a more positive role.
The issue of domestic violence, it has just reached epidemic proportions, and that is just this dysfunction. It's the dysfunction, and it doesn't help that society doesn't stand strongly when these cases happen.
Flipping the page to politics, the level of women's political participation in the country, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, is 6.7%, way below the recommended national gender policy of 35% affirmative action.
They just think that once a woman is not economically empowered or endowed, she can't do it, because it's all about money. Women don't have the kind of money and the kind of muscle and the kind of connections that the men have.
Despite the challenges facing the Nigerian women, the future remains bright based on a few success stories.
We must appreciate what the Constitution says, that there's free education for our children, from primary school to secondary school. There's nothing the men are doing that the women cannot do. We have men that are judges, we have women that are judges, we have women that are doctors and lawyers, even legislators, we have them. Thank you very much.
The United Nations began celebrating International Women's Day in 1975. It has become a rallying point to build support for women's rights and participation in the political and economic arenas. Yomi Otaigbo reporting for Channels Television News.